around in my car.
I wanna be a singer and a rock and roll star.
I wanna be a doctor, that'd be cool.
I wanna be on TV like Steve Poole.
When I grow up, I wanna have some fun, work real hard and get my job done. Take a look around the world and see just what I wanna be. I wanna be an engineer and drive a train.
I wanna be a scientist and use my brain.
I wanna drive a truck on the open road, wheels rolling to deliver my load.
I wanna be a farmer and milk a cow, grow some crops and ride my plow.
I wanna play baseball 'cause I love to pitch.
I just know I wanna be rich.
When I grow up, I wanna have some fun, work real hard and get my job done. Take a look around the world and see just what I wanna be. I wanna drive a cat and work in the dirt.
I wanna be a nurse and help folks that are hurt.
I wanna be a pilot high in the sky in a jet plane I'm gonna fly. I wanna be an astronaut and fly to Mars.
I wanna be an astronomer and study the stars.
I wanna fix cars when they get a dent.
Heck, I wanna be the president.
When I grow up, I wanna have some fun, work real hard and get my job done. Take a look around the world and see just what I wanna be. When I grow up, I wanna have some fun, work real hard and get my job done. Take a look around the world and see just what I wanna be. Just what I wanna be.
11:34 hours, ladder 3 on channel 3, 21 Avenue and East Alder Street. Ladder 3 on channel 3, 21 Avenue and East Alder Street.
Hello there, I'm Steve Poole. Hey, have you ever seen one of these? It's a firefighter's helmet. This is what firefighters put on when they go to fight a fire. Now, if you're interested in being a firefighter, you've come to the right place because we've got some other kids here who are interested in the same thing. Say hi, kids. Hi! All right, let's get things started. We already know what this is. Let's see if we can learn some more about what firefighters do. Watch this.
Firefighting. It's one of the most interesting and challenging jobs around. You often see and hear them going to the scene of a fire or a rescue, a car accident, or even a spill of dangerous materials. They are the guardians of our safety, and they take a lot of pride in filling that role.
I've been fighting fires since I was 18 years old. I started out in Snohomish County and then joined the Seattle Fire Department when I was 21 years old, and I've been there for about 31 years, working on 32 years.
I really didn't think that I would ever be a firefighter, but I always knew that my calling in life was to help people. When I was going to college, I met a person who was, at that time, was a captain in the fire department, and one thing led to another, and he encouraged me to apply for the job, and here I am 11 years later.
The most appealing thing was the ability to help somebody else and make a difference in their life.
I enjoy the challenges. I wanted to be a fireman since I was about 5 years old. And then when I got in high school, I really wanted to be a fireman. I went onto the beach and see what those guys did, and I thought, yep, I like the days off. Of course, when I joined the fire department, I realized it wasn't play. It was a serious job. It required a lot of work, a lot of study, and had a lot of rewards because you get to help people and you get to be there and work with a team, and that's really enjoyable for me.
As you might guess, it is exciting, but there's a lot more to being a firefighter than meets the eye.
Well, first of all, you have to study a lot when you're in junior high school and college so that you can pass a test and get in, and you have to work out and stay in good shape so that you can also pass the physical part of the test. It's a very demanding job. It takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of training, a lot of education. We give each firefighter a test before they come in that measures how well they know science, how well they know math, how well they can read, spell, write, things like that. And that tells us if they pass real high that they can probably do well during the training session at the training academy.
Now that was kind of interesting, don't you think? You guys have any questions about firefighting?
Is there a school you have to go to?
Well, that's a good question. Do firefighters have to go to school and practice? Well, as a matter of fact, they do. Watch this.
Actually, there is a lot of schooling that firefighters need, even after the regular classroom studies that we all have to go through.
Okay, no matter how we got him onto the ladder, we're going to slide him down the outside of the ladder. Would you do anything different to the ladder rather than this? I would secure the bottom too. There you go.
Before you can get to the school, you have to pass 2 examinations. One is a civil service examination for firefighter, and the second part of that is a physical agility test for the position of firefighter. And if you get past those 2, depending upon your ranking, you may or may not be given an application for employment. And from there, you may or may not advance to the point where you actually get an interview. And from that list of people, you are ranked numerically, and they hire from 1 to, say, 100, depending upon how many people they decide they want on the list.
Okay, we're gonna, this is like an apartment building. We have a whole row of windows, right, that we want to ventilate. We're going to ventilate the window to the right. Okay. So we're going to pull out from the building, rotate, slam it in. Okay? Okay. Then walk the butt over. Spurs over, and then out, rotate, crash it in, and walk over. Okay? Okay. Out, you lean. Okay. Out the building. Hold it, hold it. You got it? Got it. Come on out. And then flat.
A big part of the training is learning what to do when you fight a fire. That's what these recruits are going through.
Open it up over the top just briefly to kind of slow the fire down. This is also a very controlled environment so that these recruits, if they make a mistake, they do not become injured. Our goal is to train them without injuring them. In a real fire, you have no control over what's happening. You may have chemicals inside the house like gasoline or things that you don't know about. And a firefighter coming through the door could be coming through at the wrong time when the gas can blows up. So that's the difference. In training, you try to train as close as you can to real life without having the danger involved. And in this here, you know, we're trying to teach them the skills they need to be effective firefighters. It'll be several years before these young people here who are learning to be firefighters really become, you know, 100% efficient. Now, we have a lot of great training, but they still have to work with some senior firefighters over the next year or two to help them develop all the skills they need to be safe and be efficient and deliver top quality service to our community.
Right here, sir. You got one guy on the pump? Yes, sir. Okay, let's get Wyatt, let's get that pump started.
First line, second line. Okay. How do you guys gonna line them up this time? Just do them again one more time?
Let's do the same group one more time.
Just switch around, yeah. 83 is first in this time. Let's do it. We're lighting you up.
That's all the gas up top. I'll stay a little bit.
Watch your face, gentlemen. there are several different strategies a firefighter could use, and what his job is, or the job of the chief, is to find the strategy that works best with the fire they're fighting. So there's no, one perfect way to do it every time. So the most important thing to look for is, can they work as part of a team? Are they self-starting? Are they hardworking? Do they want this job? If you don't want the job and if you're lazy and you want to sit around, you won't do your work, you won't pass your studies, you'll fail your final exam, and we'll let you go. We give every recruit about, I'd say probably 80 hours of homework a month that he or she has to study. And if they don't study their work and pass the test with a score of 80% or greater, we can't have somebody passing scores of 50. 80 is passing. So if they don't pass the scores with 80, we'll find somebody who wants a job enough to do that.
And you're just trying your hardest, and you make mistakes and start getting down on yourself, and it's hard. You just got to keep plugging away and keep a good attitude. And again, you're working and relying on your teammates in drill school.
Well, the first step in training is the basic hose and ladders, the skills necessary so that when they come out to a fire like this, they don't have to think about what they're doing with a hose. And after 4 or 5 weeks of basic hose and ladders, we teach them how to use their mask, how to rescue people, where to look. We teach them all the book stuff, you might say, at the academy. And after they've been in the fire department 7 or 8 weeks, then we start teaching them how to fight fires in concrete structures and in flammable liquids like for gasoline tankers and things like that. And last but not least, we teach them how to fight fires in buildings like this one here. And like these recruits here, they've been doing this almost 11 weeks. They're at 10 and a half weeks. And next week, in fact, actually tomorrow, they graduate from the training academy tomorrow, if they are all successful. And starting next week, they go to work in the fire station. They will be on probation. In other words, they're just temporary employees, so to speak, until they've completed their first year. The training academy is just the first phase of their training. Then they'll go out to the fire station and start phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 2 is at a special training station where they review all their hose and ladders again, and they'll practice working with the crews. And then after they finish phase 2 in the last 4 months of their first year of employment, then they go to their own fire station, and at that fire station, they start learning about all the streets and all the houses in that district they work in, and all the special things they have to know to be an efficient firefighter in that neighborhood.
What do they wear when they fight a fire?
We asked this firefighter to put on his gear step by step so that we can see all the equipment and how it works.
Got all our turnout gear here. And the first thing to start with is our turnout pants. We've got rubber boots, steel toe, plate on the bottom so nails can't go through. When we get an alarm, we got handy zippers, we get our boots off. Slip on nice. Have to have our red suspenders. As far as these go with our turnouts, they're insulated. We have a liner on the inside that's removable. And they're rated, I think we can take up to 500 degrees for 15 seconds. But more or less, a normal fire anywhere from 200, 300 degrees. And we can last quite a long time in there. We've got a fire hood if we need it. Got all our gear. We've got pockets everywhere to carry spare equipment. We've got our gloves. Got all kinds of body loops, door wedges, things that might come in handy in a fire. We've got, every firefighter now has a radio, so if they ever get trapped or in any situation need be, they have a means of getting help. Gotta make sure we're all buckled up. We've got a neck collar, protect our throat. We've got to be covered up completely when we go into fire. Steam and heat is our main enemy. Okay, we have our breathing apparatus. These are 30-minute bottles. They're adaptable up to 60-minute bottles, but we usually don't use those unless we're doing a rescue. We have our mask, goes with it. It's in here. And last, we got our helmet. Got a face shield, and then we've got a neck flap to protect our neck. That's it.
Is it dangerous to fight a fire?
Like any job that's like firefighting or police work, it's all extremely dangerous. And like right here, we're trying to teach the young firefighters how to do the job as safely as possible. You never know what the unknown is going to present to you, but you certainly can predict what's going to happen, or you should be able to. We try to. And if we predict what's going to happen, then we can decide whether we really need to do what we're going to do. In other words, if it's too dangerous of a task and we're not going to save anything, why risk a fireman's lives?
I'd say that the most dangerous part about firefighting is not the firefighting itself, but being injured while you're fighting a fire and being suddenly disabled from fighting fire. That's a big problem. The rest of it has to do more with the vacant buildings and not really being able to tell how safe it is, although things are really improving with respect to vacant buildings these days.
If a building is a vacant building, there's nobody in it, it's already well involved with fire, it maybe is going to be better to stand outside and put water on it and slow the fire down rather than send firefighters inside, try to put it out and have it collapse on them. So that's ways in the 90s that we look and manage risk and try not to have firefighters get hurt doing something that doesn't give you a good return.
Being up on top of burning buildings is, for me, particularly dangerous. As a matter of fact, I had a fall off a roof last year, so I'm speaking from experience, not a fear. It's just something that happens, you know, nature of the beast. The gear we have is really good. The number of people we have at a fire, if you get into trouble, I'd say it's probably pretty easy to get out unless you've managed to really do something way out of line and get in too deep. So
nowadays, I guess you could say it's becoming more hazardous because of the construction. It's the big thing, the lightweight construction and the integrity of the buildings and the structures we're on. It's really compromised. Fire can damage the supports and so forth sooner. So by the time we roll on and say the truck company gets up on the roof, there's large chances that the roof could be collapse on them, or even the firefighters inside have stuff fall on them. So it's getting more dangerous. As far as your fears of it, I don't know how corny it sounds, but from our position, I think it's a job we want to do, and we really don't think of it as much, where you see a guy washing windows on a skyscraper. I'd never want to do that, but to him, it probably doesn't bother him. So I guess you could say it's just the job that we do, and we enjoy the thrill of it, more or less.
Firefighters rely a lot on their training to help get over the danger, but sometimes the situation is dangerous no matter what. This is what happened one day when a window washer got stuck on the side of a building.
We're downtown Seattle, one of the high-rise buildings at 6th Avenue and Columbia Street, and the fire department's been called to help some window washers. Apparently their window washing instrument got stuck, ran out of power, broke down. So our high-angle team, which is a special rescue team designed to do this kind of work, came down along with the local fire companies to essentially run an extension cord, a 440-volt extension cord, out to the window washers so they can get back down to the ground and fix their lifting device. Well, what they sent was a battalion chief who's in charge of this particular area of town, the local fire rigs, which is an engine company and a ladder company, and then they sent our special high-angle rescue team, which is a little bit south of here, which is a ladder company with some special tools. And most of those individuals have a lot of mountain climbing experience, so they're able to climb and rappel. And though most firemen here have that same kind of training, these guys and gals really work hard at this particular expertise. A bunch of good men and women are in that group.
Fortunately, they were able to get the window washers down without a problem. although it was kind of scary.
Fortunately, that the cables didn't break, and that's happened before where we had to come and pull people off the side of the building where the cable is broken and they've been hanging up there. So these group of individuals, both men and women, do an outstanding job, and it's really a fun job, and these guys really like it. So,
how would you like to go off the top of that building on a rope?
This is typical that it happens frequently. I think in the last week we've been on one of these type of things about 3 times. Window washers or instruments broke, or they've fallen, or somebody's got sick on there. So yeah, it's fairly typical. I mean, it happens 3 or 4 times a month, and with special training, you're able to deal with these pretty effectively.
So there you go. You can see that firefighting can be dangerous. You have to be careful. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
What is it like to drive a fire truck?
I do drive a fire engine. It's a heck of a lot bigger than a car. You just kind of have to take it easy. A lot of people, I think, would imagine that driving a fire engine is kind of crazy, because it's big and you're going pretty fast, and looks pretty exciting. But we try to take care, and we try to watch out for everybody on the road, and just try to imagine that everybody is going to pull out in front of you, and just try to be as safe as you can be. It's pretty challenging sometimes, especially up here, because the roads are pretty narrow and the engines are pretty wide. Sometimes you have 2 or 3 inches on each side to get through traffic. But it's a lot of fun.
Can girls be firefighters too?
You betcha. Anybody that can pass the test and want to do the work. We have men and women in the fire service. We have women chiefs and women officers and women firefighters and paramedics as males, and we are an organization that tries to reflect what our community is made of. So we have minorities, we have majorities, we have men, women, and anybody who can pass the test, no matter who you are, can be a firefighter.
Firefighters can end up battling blazes everywhere. Here's a ship fire. And here's what it looks like when a tanker truck catches on fire.
My first run, I thought, man, this is really cool. all the noise, and we're going pretty fast, and going through traffic lights and everything, and it was just really exciting.
Everything's running through your mind as far as what you were taught and if you're going to remember it. And when you're a boot and you're the new guy out, you have the sense that you should be doing everything, and you get the grunt work, and so you're trying to help everybody out and do everything at once.
It was just a big bundle of nerves, being nervous anyway, and then overcharged with adrenaline. So getting there and all of these things that you've been taught running through your mind, and not knowing what you're going to have when you get there, and making sure that you don't make a mistake while you're there.
It's exciting. Fighting fires is exciting because you're always changing what you're doing. There's always something different, and you always have to be thinking. But it's probably scary is one of the things I look at it. It's, You don't ever want to see somebody's house burn down or see somebody have a heart attack. You want to be there to help, so you get that good feeling from that. But you also have the sad feeling, you know, that somebody's been hurt or somebody's died or somebody's belongings is burned down. So it's kind of a mixed feeling that you have when you're a firefighter. You have great exhilaration that you can help somebody, but it's, you know, very demanding work, very hard work, very dangerous work, and but it is challenging, and it gives you great feelings of personal satisfaction if you can help somebody when they're in need.
But after going through all this, firefighters become seasoned veterans, and it's plain to see that above everything else, a firefighter is proud.
Well, I think we've seen that being a firefighter can be both fun and challenging. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah!
Okay. Hey, listen, kids, one other thing. Never go near a fire truck or a fire scene without your parents or a trusted adult. Safety first. But remember, you can be anything you want to be. So long!
Bye!